All right. Hello, everybody. It's the Meista from Brews and Tunes. Cheers. Super excited today. I am chatting with Scott Watts of bass player of Sacrifice and as well as Codex Factoria. Thank you so much, Scott, for joining me. I'm really excited to be chatting.
Great. It's going to be cool.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome. And love your shirt, by the way. Rainbow. Great band. Very cool. Why don't we start with kind of what's been going on with you in this past year and a half, this crazy world we're living in? You know, what's going on with you musically right now?
Musically, I've been actually a little out of shape here because I'll have to admit I haven't played in a little while because I knew we're not going to be playing for a while, so I've lost a little motivation. Just been taking it easy and just letting it ride. I mean, we've been recording demo songs for the last couple of years. Oh, okay. And last year we did 3 demo songs, and we put one on our Sacrifice page, World War V. So just to let people know that yes, we're still around, and yes, we are eventually going to put out another album.
Excellent.
So yeah, so we did a lot of that last year. This year has just been hanging out, just waiting. We're hoping that we could go to Germany in November, because that was booked for last year, 2020, and then that got canceled, and this is canceled again because it's just this COVID-19 is just out of control.
Yeah. And then was that for a festival or?
Yeah, it was going to be the German version of True Thrash Fest that like they have in Osaka, Japan.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah, so this would be the German version.
Nice.
Yeah. Last year, Razor, I guess it would have been 2019 now. Razor, Blood Feast, At War, and I forget, there were some other bands too, but those are the ones I know that played there for sure.
Oh, cool.
Okay. They asked us to play, but we couldn't do it in 2019.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, so we're supposed to do it in 2020, couldn't do it. We were hoping for November, but no. So next year.
So 2022 is kind of what we were looking at now. Okay, cool. Have you guys... Well, you said you really haven't been playing, so you guys have not been together. You have not played anything live for quite some time.
And we are all spread out around North America. Like I live in Vancouver, BC, the west coast of Canada. Okay. Joe lives just outside of Detroit, and Rob and Gus live in Toronto. So the only guys that actually jam are Rob and Gus. Gotcha. But how we get together when we play a show is we'll arrive in the city 3 to 4 days ahead of time and then rehearse usually have at least minimum 3 rehearsals, and then we're good.
Nice.
Yeah. Since we've been playing these songs since 1980s, we got them down pat. We just got to get together and make sure it's tight again. That's all.
Yeah.
And we usually get up by day 1 is okay, but kind of sloppy. Day 2 is a lot better. Day 3 we're dead on.
Okay. As far as, so you said you guys have been working on some demos. You've got some stuff going. And a new album is in the works. Do you have a kind of a deadline or a date?
No, we don't have a label. We don't have anything. Okay. It's just under our own time right now. Like we've been working on stuff for a long time. It's just everyone's lives are busy and stuff. So we don't put, it's definitely not the main focus of everyone's life right now. We definitely want to do it. And we're definitely going to keep playing. And Sacrifice is going to be around still for a little while. It's not our top priority in life right now.
Gotcha. Makes sense. And it's been a significant amount of time since that last album.
2008?
2009, that's right.
Yeah, 11 years now. Yeah, so I'm itching. The whole band's itching to do it. It's just getting the time to do it.
Is there I know it's kind of early. You're still kind of working out demos. Is there kind of a particular direction or motif or something that you guys have a kind of a vibe that you're looking for this album?
I think have you heard World War V on our on the Facebook page?
Yeah, great track.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I see that as a continuation of the ones I condemn.
Okay,
so it's basically along the same line. It's a lot. The 3 songs we have recorded are pure thrash.
Nice.
And we have some other ones going are just slow and heavy, or just heavy, or medium paced speeds, but the ones we actually have fully recorded with vocals, drums, guitaring, everything, it's 3 songs are very thrashy.
Nice.
Yeah, and they're excellent songs. I can't wait for everyone here. I like to post every demo song, but Rob says
Right.
It makes sense. We can't throw everything out there. One song to let everyone know we're still around is all we're doing for now.
Now, so that's what you got going on with Sacrifice. Are you guys, with Codex Factoria, anything in the works there? Because
no, actually, we broke up.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we did a demo and one album, but then basically after that, everyone went their own ways. Like a couple of guys were in a band together, and they were doing a death metal thing out here. Another bass player is doing something. The singer, I'm not sure what he's doing. So it was just a temporary thing. It was some guys getting together and creating some music.
Gotcha. And it was people from
really
multiple
good.
bands. Yeah, it was great. I mean, that Tyrants, that album was fantastic.
Yeah,
that was
Fun.
excellent. Yeah, really cool. And it was cool to, kind of the merging of death and thrash.
Yeah.
That what you guys were, that focus that was a cool, really cool sound. I really liked that a lot.
Yeah, it was cool to have all the guest guitar players too. We had Rob on there. We had two guys from Bloodfeast, CJ and Adam. And we had, I forget the other guy's name, is a friend of the singers who used to be in Annihilator. What was his name? Damn it. I forget right now. Oh. But yeah, we had 4 guest spots for guitar playing, and all the solos everyone contributed was awesome.
Nice. Yeah. There's some really cool stuff on there. Yeah. Really great stuff. Yeah.
We were really pleased with it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that album. Yeah. So everybody out there, definitely check that out. I think the Bandcamp page is still up.
It's Bandcamp still on, so you can still get a song or buy the album or whatnot.
Yeah, really some really good stuff on there. And then obviously, Sacrifice.
Yeah,
that's cool. Well, why don't you take me? Why don't we go on a little trip into memory lane and let's talk about kind of your early beginnings as a musician. Like, when did you start playing? Kind of what got you into music?
When I was in grade 6, we had my teacher in grade school was a guitar player. So he said he would teach people how to play. So there was 4 of us that brought our acoustics in. We started playing guitar in grade 6. And then I kept on playing guitar. What really motivated me to play, I'll have to admit, was Boston. For playing long time. The guitar breaks, so the first 2 guitar breaks were acoustic, and the last one jumped into electric with Tom Schultz. That just blew me away. And that's what got me into guitar playing, was Boston.
Cool.
And then after many years playing with friends and just jamming on guitar, I wanted to get into a band, but I realized, okay, there's 18 billion guitar players and maybe 4 bass players in the world.
Right.
Exaggerating, but so I turned to bass because no one needed guitar players, but people needed bass players. Yeah, I like bass. I can get into this. And then I started off, my first band was a Judas Priest cover band, and we played some other stuff. That was fun.
Nice.
I must have been no more than 16 probably. And then after that, I basically met Joe in high school. We kind of knew each other, and then he left the high school, and in grade 11 or 12 we were in. They had a band, but they didn't have a bass player, but he knew I played, so he asked me to get together, and then me, Rob, and Joe just got together and started jamming. And then we had an early drummer, Craig Boyle, killer drummer. He just wasn't into really thrash. He was more into prog metal. So we went on to Ernest Flack. He was a buddy of mine who I used to play with, but he played drums. So he played drums for Sacrifice for one show, but he admitted he couldn't cut the fast playing or really fast thrash. Right. So he backed out. And then we met Gus. We put an advertisement out in the paper. I don't forget which paper in Toronto. And Gus hit us up, and he liked all the stuff we liked. And first jam at my parents' place, he came over, set up his, a double bass, 4-tom, 5-tom. Yeah, he had a really big kit. It was a cheaper kit, but whatever. It's 1984, 85 probably, or late 84, our first jam. And as soon as we played, I forget what song we covered right off the bat that we agreed to play with. It was like, me, Rob, and Joel looked at each other and went, yes, this is the guy.
Nice.
So after first, I was like, Gus, you're in. Because he was perfect. He was doubling on his hi-hat with a snare. He could do double bass. He could play super fast. I was like, Gus, you're the guy. And that's how we all got together.
Very cool. Very cool. Did you come from a musical family?
My dad would play acoustic for a while, but he really liked music growing up. He was really into classic rock stuff.
Okay.
So that got me into it. And then after he yeah, I was playing his acoustic guitar. He kind of lost interest, so I picked it up and just kept playing. And then my brother too, he was in a metal band in the 80s called Dark Legion. Then he moved on and played in a whole bunch of hardcore punk bands in Toronto.
Oh wow!
And then he moved on. Now he's in 1,000 bands now. He plays everything from blues to rock to punk. He's very diverse.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. So I guess me and him are the musicians of the family, and my dad was. So he was definitely an inspiration to get us started.
Nice. That's cool. That's very interesting. With I apologize for my ignorance, but so what was Toronto like at that time in the early to mid 80s as far as kind of the metal scene? There was definitely a scene. There wasn't an underground scene right away, but I mean there was Anvil. Anvil started of course.
Toronto, right?
Yeah.
And I saw them many times opening up for Dio, opening up for Maiden, and they was like, fuck, these guys are awesome. Because they had the long hair, they're on stage, they're playing like 666 or Metal on Metal or Jackhammer. They were playing fucking great songs from back then. I said, yeah, I want to fucking be on stage and thrash out like that too, because they look so cool opening up for Maiden and Dio. So they were the first ones that I know of for sure. From Toronto, and there was other rock metal bands like Lee Aaron was there. She was metal queen, right?
Yeah, that's
so, and there was other just commercial metal. There was a bunch of bands that covered other bands like Maiden and Priest and stuff. So there was definitely a metal scene, but all the higher tier metal. The underground scene, it was there, and I basically got into the underground scene maybe late 83 or 84 when I reconnected with Joe after high school. And like I said, I knew Motorhead, I knew Judas Priest, Maiden, the main, I think I call it mainstream, but the more popular metal bands. And then Joe introduced me to Merciful Fate, Venom, and then it's like, whoa, okay, there's a whole new that I never knew even existed. So he got me into that, and then it was just every single new band that was coming out, we'd listen to. We got right into Metallica, definitely Venom, Merciful Fate. When Slayer came out, we got Slayer. So and then Slayer's first time playing in Toronto at Larry's Hideaway. Rob and Joe got to hang out with the guys in Slayer for a day or two while they were in town. And it was either Hanneman or King gave the demo Bonded by Blood to them. So that's the first time we heard Exodus. They were just raving that this is the best fucking band around, nice. Exodus. And so we got the Bonded by Blood demo from them. I was like, fuck, these guys were outstanding. The guitar playing of Hunold and Holt, Jesus Christ, they're fucking great. Oh. They're still great now. Like, I'm not sure. I know Rick's not in the band full time, so I'm not sure who the other guitar player is. I know Lee Altus played when Gary wasn't there, but I'm not really sure who is the other guitar player, Exodus.
So you know? Yeah, I can't remember his name. Well, I know Craig and Lum played live. Yeah, when Gary was gone too, he would kind of fill in and do the lead stuff. That's who I saw. Unfortunately, I've never actually seen Gary live.
Okay.
I've always seen, and Cragen's awesome. He's an amazing guitar player, but
So was Craig after Lee? I know Lee played there for a bit.
Yeah. Because I mean, they've got the two guitars, two guitarists. So my memory is not.
Yeah, and I could be wrong. Maybe you're saying Craig. Maybe Craig was there more, and I just assumed it was Lee Altus.
Yeah.
But I knew Heathen album too is killer. I like those bands. I like those are kind of bands I like for thrash a lot.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well, another thing that
guitar players outstanding.
Well, that's the thing that I always thought was cool. Like Sacrifice, you guys kind of took it up a notch. I mean, it's really, especially for that time, it is intense. Like it's a really, I mean, right here, this beautiful, wonderful album
as you can get.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so like in your face. Torment and Fire is just kind of one of those ultimate, and at the time it was very, very underground. It's cool now to see. There's a lot of young people really, I'm on multiple, pages, metal pages online, and it's cool to see a lot of young thrash metal fans that are posting the pictures of this album now and like, oh, have you heard this? Have you heard Sacrifice? Have you heard Sacrifice? I'm like, yeah. How did you know about this? Which is great. Yeah, this is cool. It's so cool. But yeah, I mean, that was one of the things that, when I first heard Sacrifice way back in the day, it was like stunning. It was so, like, as you said, it was so raw and in your face and aggressive and fast. It was like, holy shit, this is great. I mean, it kind of, not to put any other bands, you know, I don't want to put bands down, but I mean, just, you know, what I, you know, because I loved thrash metal. I loved the speed and the intensity of it. But then when I heard this, you know, and I'd been listening to Metallica and Megadeth and Slayer, and, you know, and just, and at that point, you know, especially Metallica and Megadeth were kind of getting more and more polished. Yeah. And I was kind of craving the raw, like more of that earlier intensity.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know, the early, and that's exactly what Sacrifice is, which was so great. Did you guys have a sense of like, we've got something really cool here, like we're doing something really interesting?
Well, we were definitely happy that we could put out an album, because when we put out the Exorcism, it was like, cool, this is the beginning, this is good. And then we did the album not long after the demo, within a year. And yeah, we were so excited. We were really young too. I think we were no more than 18. Wow. We were just really excited to actually be in a recording studio recording, and we had a label that was going to put it out. So yeah, we're very ecstatic. Personally now, and only a couple, maybe one other guy in the band is into it too, but I would love to do what Exodus did, Destruction did, Testament did, go back to the first album and re-record it.
Oh, interesting.
I'd love to do that. I think that'd be really cool with modern sounds, modern guitar. Of course, the rawness of Torment and Fire will live forever. That's just great. That's the good thing. One of the good things about it, it's nice and raw.
Yeah.
And so I would like to polish it all up. I'd really like to redo like Necronomicon, Possession, Homicidal Breath, Turn in Your Grave. Songs like that, I'd love. Like we redid. Did we redo everything after that? We redid Burn at the Stake, and it turned out really good. Yeah. We redid that.
Have you guys ever thought about putting out a live album? You know, especially
we did. We did a live DVD.
Oh, okay.
A reunion show. It was very limited though.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah. As for a live album, actually one is coming out. Yeah, they're called Cursed Blessing from Toronto. They're putting out a live show from 1985 or 86 when we played with DRI and COC. So that's going to be very raw. Yeah. Because that's old time, big time.
Nice.
But nothing modern, nothing in the 2000s live-wise. I don't know if we will. I'm going to say probably not. Okay. Because we got that live album coming out instead. So you never know, right? Who knows?
Yeah. Well, that's
future is wide open.
Yeah. And that's exciting to know that you're going to, you know, I mean, that'll be really cool just to hear that, that old stuff, you know, a very young band.
I mean, I remember the show, but I don't remember the show.
Right.
I remember we played it, but I don't remember much of that night.
That was a long time ago.
It was a very long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, that's I mean, I think anybody would be hard pressed, myself included. Like, hey, do you remember that show? Like, I know I went.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I was there in 1986, but I have a family member who's got this kind of photographic memory, and he's older than me, and he saw shows in the 70s. And he will tell you what songs they played and what they opened with and closed with. And like, you know, and people ask me like shows I went to like a week ago, like, oh, what did they open with? Probably something from their new album. I don't remember. I just loved it, but I don't remember. Like, it was a great show, but I don't quite remember what they played or what order it was in. Like,
that was cool. I'm thinking this live album was around the time we did a bunch of shows with COC and a couple of shows with DRI.
Nice.
Like we did the Midwest with COC. They were great guys. That's the first time we met them, and they were awesome. It's sad about Reed, but it was really cool to actually get to know them way back then. Same with DRI. They were always super cool.
Yeah, great. Yeah,
and they were big influences on us growing up, big time.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Of those guys, especially DRI, dealing with it. Fuck, that album is still one of my favorite albums.
Well, and yeah, that was one thing I was going to say that I really love about Sacrifice is that you guys definitely had a punk sensibility about, you know, especially with your the speed. Yeah. But then there was, you know, it's definitely thrash, but there's also, I mean, you know, you mentioned Venom. There's this, especially particularly with the vocals, it's almost this blackened element to it, which was,
yeah, especially on Torment and Fire.
Yeah,
that was kind of like a black death thrash metal album. It was like a bunch of genres in one.
Yeah, which was cool because I mean, at that time,
that was just everything was just opening up. Black metal, death metal was just starting.
Yeah, and I think, you know, for people that haven't listened to it, I think it's important to check out Sacrifice because you guys were way ahead of your time. I mean, because a lot of that stuff, especially like, you know, particularly like, you know, kind of this death thrash black metal kind of combination, you really didn't see that until the 90s, really. And you guys were doing that in 80s.
Yeah, Rob's tone on Torment and Fire 2 was definitely more lower and growly than it turned out to be Forward Determination on.
Yeah.
Forward Determination on, I loved his voice. He was very raspy. That's what I love.
Yeah.
I love Rob's voice. I mean, I love it on the first album too, but I really love it. Well, I love it on every album. I love his voice. I think he's got a great thrash metal voice.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it's almost a growl. It's like
it's
right
awesome.
on the
it's
verge.
Not a guttural thing. It's more. I try to explain it to people that don't know thrash at all. That when I explain the singing of Sacrifice, I kind of say, just imagine a really raunchy Bon Scott.
There you go.
That's how I try to explain Rob to people that don't know that kind of music.
Yeah,
because that's what I feel. I think because Bon Scott was very raspy, he had a raspy voice, but it was a great voice. And to me, if you put him in a thrash band, well, I just try to explain Rob's voice to people like that so they can get an understanding. Because if I try to name other people, they just won't get it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. As far as the songwriting, then and now, is it a collaborative effort between the band? Is it more of, you know, is somebody coming in with riffs and then the band gets together? Or kind of how do you guys write? When
we all lived in Toronto, we'd all come into the jam room and then we'd start writing. We all come in with riffs. Me, Joe, and Rob would come on riffs. Even Gus would throw in his own drum riffs once in a while. Like the beginning of Afterlife was a Gus thing and we just moved around it.
Oh, cool.
And there was a couple other songs too. Gus came up with the beats, and then we worked around it. I just forget what other songs they were at the moment. But that would be our main focus for the first 4 hours. We all come in with riffs, and we just put them all together. That was the majority. Sometimes Rob would have a full song ready, or Joe would have the majority of the song. I always had halves of songs, like 3-4 riffs per song, maybe 2, especially for the first 3 albums. And Apocalypse Inside, I didn't have as much to do with that. That was mostly Rob and Joe. Okay. And then the ones I Condemn was all Rob. Rob building up. That's all his demo stuff and writing he did basically from the end of Sacrifice to when we put it out in 2009. That was all Rob. Which was great. It was Turn Up Be Graham, and it was definitely Sacrifice. This is the progression of Sacrifice still. It was still a great continuation.
Yeah.
So, and now, most of it's still a lot of Rob, because it's harder. I find it harder for myself. Like I can come up with riffs, but putting them all together as a band, for me, it's easier when we're all together with brainstorming. Because I can come up with a ton of riffs, but putting them all together so it sounds good as a full song is not always my forte. It's more coming up with riffs to put together with Rob and Joe.
Gotcha.
That's what we're trying to do more now.
Cool.
That me and Joe will write riffs, and then we'll send them to Rob, and then Rob tries to incorporate them into songs. Which is still kind of tough because I understand because you don't know what kind of drum beat to go behind the riff or going from one riff into a new riff from a Joe riff to a Scott riff to a Rob riff. I understand how that might be a little tough for one guy to do by himself when we're not all collaborating at the same time.
Right.
And that's how it always worked best for us when we're all together. Well, one Side Condemn was amazing, but before that, it was always us.
Nice.
Together.
Well, you guys should consider doing like a Zoom meeting and get together.
We've thought about it. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, true. And the problem is sometimes there's a delay, so it can be tricky in terms of trying to figure things out musically. It can be a little.
Well, we might one day. You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe if we're all in Toronto one day, we could do something like that at a jam.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to because we are going to be still playing together. Yeah, we still have a lot of years. So,
good.
And once the world has this pandemic under control, there'll be definitely more shows, more songs, more getting together so we can actually hash out another album.
Nice. That would be great.
It's just a waiting game.
Hopefully you can get down to the States and do a little tour. That would be great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. We were asked to do Maryland Death Fest again. Oh, cool. I'm not sure when though, but I know it came up that they were interested again to have us back. So nice. Hopefully in the next couple of years we can get back down there. Because that was fun the first time we did it in 2015, 16. Yeah, I forget. But that was a great time at the Maryland Death Fest. That's a great festival.
Yeah, I've never been. I've always wanted to go. It's
when we got, I think we got the last year of, or maybe it was the second last year of playing in that big parking lot. So they had the two stages. So one band will play and everyone will go over there while the other band sets up on the other stage. And then as soon as one band's in, the other band starts.
Nice.
So they had it organized. It was really, really together. They really knew what they do. They were very organized.
That's cool.
And then I heard after that, though, now they're just all indoor. I'm not sure if they're bars or little halls. I'm not sure, but I heard it's not in the open parking lot anymore.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
But that was fun.
Nice.
I think that's the last time we played in the U.S. too, was that.
Okay. So that's been a while.
Yeah.
So it's been a little.
But we will be back.
Any standout, I mean, apart from that one, are there any, like, we talked a little bit about, especially at the live show, the CD coming out, and that you have a vague memory of playing that.
It's actually going to be an LP.
Pardon?
It's going to be an LP and CD.
Oh, excellent.
It might even be cassette.
Nice.
Yeah. I know for sure CD, and I'm pretty sure Al Nolan, who owns Curse Blessing, is, I'm pretty sure it was CD and album. I'm pretty sure the album's in there too.
Excellent. Yeah, I love vinyl, so I would love to grab that on vinyl. That would be great. Are there any, you mentioned that show and, kind of a vague memory of that. Are there any like standout shows for you over the years, festivals or whatever? Like, wow, that was an amazing show.
Yeah, definitely. No Speed Weekend in Montreal. The first night was, what was the first night? I think it was us, DRI, and Voivod. Second night was Agnostic Front, Possessed, and Voivod. I think it was just, there might have been another couple bands, but I remember those were 2 nights, and we played the Spectrum in Montreal, and that was an outstanding show. So this is one of the first shows we played where I can remember where we were on stage and there's giant curtains, so you don't see the crowd at all. And then I remember I was just going, let's go. It opened, and it was like, holy shit, this place is fucking packed.
Nice.
It was a very long venue. Spectrum, it's not a hockey arena, but it was a very long venue, and it was just wall-to-wall people. It's like, this is fucking great. It's the first time I actually had stage fright. And I wasn't really scared. I was more like, I just got stuck in one position, thrashing out and headbang. I didn't really do a lot of running around because that's, like I said, that's the first time I was like, whoa, okay. I think this is the first time I've ever felt stage fright, because it was just, I guess it was just a surprise when the curtain opens. Oh, because usually you can see the people before you go on stage. But this was a surprise, but it was a nice surprise. That was a very great weekend.
Nice.
Having all those bands.
Very cool. How long ago was that?
1985.
Oh, wow. So way back.
Yeah, Voivod headlined both bands. So it was neat. So I had Voivod headlining both nights, and the openers were thrash and punk. So DRI and Sacrifice, Agnostic Front, and Possessed.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an amazing lineup.
Yeah, it was. It was fucking amazing. I loved it. Yeah, all those bands were great, because we even played with Agnostic Fronts in Detroit, and that was really cool too.
Nice.
I don't remember the date on that. I just know it was in the 80s.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Are there any bands any wish list bands that you wished you had played with, or that you hope to play with someday?
Well, yeah, we were supposed to open up for Anthrax in the 80s, or maybe it was early 90s, but it was back then, but it got canceled I don't remember why it got canceled. I got canceled because we had already played with Exodus, opened up for Exodus. We'd opened up for Slayer. I think, we had opened up for King Diamond and Megadeth. And then Anthrax was coming. Oh, this would be great to open up for them. We got everybody. I mean, we never ever thought we'd be able to open up for Metallica. And that was just too far above us, which is whatever. It is what it is. But playing with everyone else was really cool. Playing with Trouble was really cool. With Death Angel was really cool.
Nice.
We opened up with Sepultura at the Milwaukee Metal Fest. So there was a lot of bands that we played with that we really enjoyed. Razor are our metal brothers from Canada. So we played a lot of shows with them. So that's been always amazing. We always love playing with each other because we're such good friends. Who else is standouts? There's so many. Well, I mean, the Maryland Death Fest, playing with or sharing the stage with Dark Angel was really cool. There's a lot of bands there that night too that I don't think we'd ever play with. So yeah, there's been many. That's for sure.
Very cool. Very cool. As far as kind of circling back a little bit, as far as a bassist, kind of who were your big influences in terms of bass playing?
Geezer Butler and Geddy Lee.
Nice.
Those are the guys for me.
Very cool.
I mean, I have favorite jazz players. Like I love Jaco Pastorius, Stanley Clark, Brian Bromberg, Victor Wooten, Elaine Carroll. There's so many. I love jazz bass players too, but the standouts are definitely Geezer Butler and Geddy Lee. Those guys are it for me for bass playing. Nice. You got Geddy with the pure technicality and speed. You got the fucking heaviness and great riffs, and of Geezer. I just love Geezer.
Yeah,
he's just a fucking great metal player.
Yeah, heaviest of the heavy.
Oh yeah, yeah. So those two guys are the guys for me.
Nice. Sure. Very
besides
cool.
the jazz guys.
Yeah, that's great. I'm a massive Rush fan, so.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Love Rush. In fact, I think.
Yeah, I was actually pretty devastated when Neil died because I didn't even know he had brain cancer. I never knew of any of this, and all of a sudden, fuck, he's dead.
Yeah,
that was very traumatic for me.
Yeah, me as well. Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, I think
even Eddie was pretty sad too. Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah,
Neil was more sad for me, definitely, because I grew up with them and they've always been my idol.
Yeah, me too.
The whole band's idol, really. Rob, Joe, Gus, we all idolize Rush.
Yeah. I think of any band, I think I've seen Rush the most.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, that's cool. A huge fan, and I feel very very lucky. The last time I saw Rush, so it was their very last tour. Was
is that the R40 tour or Time Machine?
R40, yeah.
I got to see that tour too.
Yeah, and it was great because I went with my brother and my son.
Okay.
So it was just kind of this very special, moment, like to see my favorite band with my son, and it's my brother's favorite band too. So it was just all three of us together. It was like, this is great. What a great night.
What's the earliest Rush tour you saw?
Presto.
My earliest is Moving Pictures.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Yeah.
And then I never saw anything before that.
My uncle got me into them.
81? No,
that would have been 81 or 82.
No, because Permanent Waves was 1980. And then there were still Signals, Grace Under Pressure, Power Windows. So it must have been 83-ish, 82, 83.
Yeah, probably 82. Somewhere.
Yeah, because there's still a bunch of albums before Moving Pictures. Oh, yeah.
Well, it was Permanent Waves and then Moving Pictures.
Oh, was it? Okay, then I had it back.
So it would have been 81 or 82. Yeah, it would have been 81 or 82. So that's what it was. Yeah, you're right. Moving Pictures, then, that's right. Then, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I was Moving Pictures with Signals, and then they went into the keyboard phase. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. My uncle, I remember my uncle I remember he came over to, when I was a kid, mid 80s, and he came over and he was wearing a Grace Under Pressure t-shirt, tour shirt.
Yeah, okay.
Like, oh wait, you saw that? Can I have that shirt? Like, no. So
Rush, and then I've seen. Well, I never got to see Black Sabbath until the reunion stuff. So
yeah, me as well. Yeah, I saw them, and it wasn't that long ago, actually. Probably.
Yeah, I saw 13.
Ago. Saw that. I think that's when I saw them. Was 13.
I didn't get to see the original reunion back in 2000, 2001-ish, 1999. I never got to see that.
Yeah,
fucking boss wouldn't let me off work.
I didn't.
He wouldn't let me have a day off because I was gonna be there. It's like I gotta see this, but I never got to.
I didn't either. My wife did. She saw it in Vegas. And I think she said it was the same night as the infamous Mike Tyson fight where he bit off the ear.
Oh, of Holyfield.
Yeah. It was, and it was next door.
Okay.
So they came out of the show and the city was in chaos apparently because, the fight had ended and people were upset and came out in the streets. And so she said, she came out with her ex-husband and there's just kind of chaos in the streets from all these fighter fans. And,
oh wow, just freaking out.
Yeah, so like, oh, that's crazy. But yeah, but that would have been cool, especially to see the original lineup. I've never seen Bill Ward play. I would have loved to have seen him.
Well,
live.
I got this. So I saw Mob Rules tour.
Oh, cool.
But then again, that wasn't. Mob Rules tour. So I got to see everybody. Then I also saw, what was after Mob Rules? I saw Born Again tour.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but that was So they had Bevan on drums there from ELO.
Yeah,
but it was still Geezer, it was still Tony, and then of course Ian Gillan.
Yeah, wow,
Gillan, fucking his screams were dead on that night.
Nice,
he was fucking amazing, and then always watching Dio was always great too.
Yeah, so you saw that was in Toronto,
yeah,
where you saw it? Nice. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen. I'm a huge Deep Purple fan. I love Gillan.
I never saw Deep
Born
Purple.
Again.
Yeah, I never got to see. At least I got to see Ian Gillan. So with Black Sabbath.
Yeah. How cool is that? Yeah, wow.
That's fucking great. It was funny. They actually did Smoke Underwater for the encore.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm really depressed because it was years and years ago. Deep Purple came here to Utah, and it was Dio and Deep Purple. And I guess for the encore, Ronnie James came out and sang, I can't remember what song they did, but they did a song together.
That's cool.
And yeah, I missed the show. I think for some reason I couldn't go. And I've always kind of kicked myself for that. It's like, wow, that would have been incredible. And it wasn't too long before he got sick, I think. Okay. But yeah, that would have been incredible. And I don't remember, somebody I knew went and they told me about the encore, and I can't remember what they did. They may have done Mistreated from Rainbow.
Oh, wow. That's okay. That's an interesting song to pick.
Because I think it was at the time, was it still
Gillan, or were we on Mark IV?
It was Gillan, but I think it was when Blackmore was still. It was when they had, so maybe it was longer. I guess it was well before when Dio got sick. But yeah, from what I understand, I think they did Mistreated. So it would have been. I can't even remember the name of the album. I think it has a dragon on it. It might have been the last album that Blackmore was on with Deep Purple.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was that tour. So it was sometime in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, when I heard they did Mistreated, I'm like, holy shit, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, that would have been interesting to see.
Yeah, especially both of them, Dio and
Purple.
Yeah.
Dio Purple.
Yeah, like that's a cool concept. I like that a lot. So
yeah, and I got to see all the Black Sabbath when they did when they got back together and did the Computer God album. I forget what that album was called. Yeah, I saw that tour. I saw them when they were Heaven and Hell. When they only did Dio stuff. They axed all the Ozzy stuff. So I saw that too. So I got to see Black Sabbath quite a bit, just never with Ozzy. Yeah. Well, that's a lie. I got to see him when they were all like 60 plus years old. So at least I got to see that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Bill Ward when I saw Sabbath with Ozzy later on. It was the drummer from. Was it the drummer from Faith No More? It looks like the drummer from Faith No More.
Oh, Mike.
That was the drummer. I think. Like, he looks like.
Okay.
But he filled in. I thought he filled in well.
When I saw Sabbath, it wasn't Bill Ward either, and I don't know who the drummer was, but he was some young guy, and
that's the guy. He reminds me of the guy from Faith No More with the big long dreads.
Yeah.
So if it's the same guy or not, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But it was great. It was a great show.
Totally.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, and Ozzy was in pretty good perform. It was I've seen him before where it's been a little sketchy, like where his voice breaks.
Okay, I got a story for you. So when we saw the 13 tour here, Ozzy couldn't finish the show. He backed out with about 3 songs left. He goes, "Sorry, I can't sing anymore. Yes, I'm an asshole. He kept calling himself an asshole, and then he left stage." He's like, "Oh." So we were 3 songs short of a full set.
Oh, wow.
Because he said he couldn't continue on. He said his voice was just fucked.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, well. He's getting old. It's Ozzy. Yeah. I'd still love to meet Ozzy.
Oh, yeah, me too.
That'd be great. Because I've been watching the show they have now. Do you know he's got a paranormal show with his son going on?
No.
Ghosts are going. Like his son's a ghost hunter now, Jack.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so they did this 2-hour special where Jack and Kelly they went around. There's this place, I think it's in LA, a section of all old heritage homes they have blocked off I think it might even be a museum as well. But they were in there, and these houses are truly, well, from what I can tell, I kind of believe. I don't think Jack and Kelly are faking it. Like I've seen other paranormal TV shows. It's like, well, this just looks. I can't believe this, but I kind of tend to believe the Osbournes for some reason. Maybe I'm biased because I like them,
right?
But they look good. It seemed pretty authentic, and Kelly was getting fucking scared out of her pants. Like she was getting freaked out, and then Ozzy and Sharon are watching from home, watching the live feed of their kids in there, and they're actually making contact with ghost spirits or something.
Wow.
They were. It was. I liked it. It was
nice.
Cool to watch. Yeah,
I'll have to check it out. I'll have to look into that. I have not seen that.
The Night of Terror, I think they called it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I thought Jack's doing pretty good as a paranormal ghost hunter. I tend to believe him more than others that I see on TV. I guess because I don't know Jack, but I know of him, so I find to be a little more reliable.
All right.
That's me.
I'll check it out. I'll have to look into that. That sounds just pretty interesting.
Yeah, because watching Ozzy's expressions are hilarious.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I would love to see that.
I love Ozzy still. He's awesome.
Oh, he's great. Yeah, I've always been an Ozzy fan.
Yeah,
but yeah.
How can you not?
Yeah, he's.
And how long is he gonna live now? He's like one of the king partiers.
Yeah.
Now that Lemmy has gone, who was one of the king partiers, and now there's still Ozzy still around, and there's other singers too, but or other English musicians that are old and still ex big time partiers. But yeah, I think Ozzy's still going to be around for a while. I really hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah, it was really sad too when Lemmy passed. That was really sad.
That was rough. That was rough.
Yeah, that was rough too. That affected me almost as much as Neil Peart did, because I've met Lemmy. We've opened up for Motorhead, so yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, definitely. I saw Motorhead. It was probably about 5 months before he passed away, and he wasn't able to play. Okay. Well, one, here in Utah, just with our elevation, he was having trouble breathing.
Okay.
So they only played 5 songs, I think. But it was great because, not that they couldn't play, but so Saxon opened.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Saxon basically, because they kept, and I was right up front. I was right at the gate.
Yeah.
And so I could see the promoters, whoever on the side, like, keep playing. Because Lemmy was struggling with his breathing. So basically Saxon played a full set. They were just supposed to open, but they played for over an hour.
Nice.
And then Motorhead came out, and they did a couple songs. I think they did 2 songs from the new album, maybe 1 song from the newest album. They did a Thin Lizzy cover, which was great.
Oh,
I can't remember. I think, was it Rosalind? I can't remember which song they did, but it was really cool. And then they stopped like 3 songs in. He was having trouble. He went off stage, came back, he apologized. They played a song. He went off again, came back, played a song, and then he's like, I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Yeah, at the end there, I felt for him because I was looking at him, like he was looking rough.
Yeah.
It's like, and I saw a whole bunch of videos where he forgot lyrics. So I actually saw the video where I don't know if he passed out or just collapsed at Vakken.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, a little while ago. Yeah. So I was like, oh, let me.
Yeah. Well, and it would have been cool, I guess, because they couldn't play, he couldn't play. So, and the audience was getting, it was getting a little tense in there. Like you could tell people were kind of upset. And I was a little worried.
They paid all this money. Yeah.
Yeah. And I get it. God, like, is this going to get bad? Yeah. And because I was up front, I could see what was going on. And Biff from Saxon was trying to convince Phil and, like, hey, I'll come out and sing. Like, what if I can sing and you guys, we do a couple tracks, like in the bass, the Saxon bass player, he can come out and play.
Yeah.
Which would have been great. They didn't do it, but I'm like, yeah, do that. That would be at least a couple songs.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I wonder if Biff would be doing Motorhead.
That's what he wanted to do.
Oh, okay.
From what I could tell.
That would be interesting. Biff singing Iron Fist.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
I like Biff, but It's so
very different style.
Very different singers. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm like,
but it would have been cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
Motorhead, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But it was I mean, you know, it sucked that it ended early, but still, it's like I got to see Saxon and Motorhead play together. What a
exactly.
You
know, that is like going back to the 80s.
Yeah, it was great.
In England.
yeah. I mean, just bands that I've always worshipped. You know, just bands I love. So yeah, it was cool. It was very cool. Well, I'm really hoping I get to see Sacrifice live eventually.
Oh yeah. You're in Utah. Yeah. Well, I know we've had offers from the U.S. in the last couple of years, so we will definitely be back there.
Cool. And I would be happy to travel to see you guys. You know, like especially if there's a festival. You know, because
that's all we basically do now with festivals. I mean, we'll do lone shows in Toronto from where we're from, but when we're out across Canada or going to another country, we go for festivals because we can't draw as many people that would go to the festival by ourselves usually. So playing with other bands was great. Like the last true thrash fest in Osaka was outstanding. 2018, there was us, Hyrax, Blood Feast, At War, and Razor.
Cool.
So yeah, that was fucking awesome. We got to hang out. I got to meet all those guys. We played with At War a few times way back in the 80s. And I hadn't seen them since. And then when I saw them again, I was like, fuck, you guys look exactly the same as when I met you guys way back then. Especially Paul, the bass player. Yeah. Oh, you look exactly the same. It's like, Paul, did you age?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, you know, Caden DePenna, that dude doesn't age.
Oh, yeah. Oh, meeting Hyrax for the first time was awesome because Caden knew us. He knows Sacrifice. He's a fan of the first couple albums, so he knew our stuff. It was just really cool to meet him. Yeah. So the first time we meet him in the lobby of the hotel, where all the bands are just hanging out, chatting, getting to know each other. Kate comes up and goes, who in your band can I talk to about Canadian classic rock? I said, Kate, you're looking at him.
Nice.
Because he just wanted to know a whole bunch. He's heard some bands, he wanted to know more. So I turned him on some bands, especially Max Webster. I don't know if you know of Max Webster from Canada. Yeah, okay. So he didn't know, I don't know if you know, Victor, but Universal Juveniles album from Max Webster, their last one as a band, Rush and Max Webster did a song called Battle Scar together. All of Rush, all of Max Webster.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and it's a fucking, so I let Keaton hear that. I said, Keaton, you got to hear this, because it's Rush and Max Webster together, all of them.
Wow.
And the coolest thing about that is when they recorded that song was in the exact same studio as we recorded Soldiers of Misfortune. Exact same studio. And the engineer we had was a junior engineer for that.
Wow.
Yeah, so he told us they did about 10 to 12 takes of it, and then they just picked the best take.
Nice.
Huh. Yeah, so look it up. Or you can just look up Rush or Max Webster Battle Scar.
Okay, yeah.
It's a really good song.
I can't believe I didn't know about that. That's
Keaton didn't know about it either. So like, oh, okay, well, good. So I was trying to turn on to Max Webster because besides Rush, Max Webster is my next favorite Canadian classic rock band.
Nice.
By far.
Very cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, and Caden is kind
Caden's
of a music historian. I mean,
oh yeah, totally. This whole band, they're all great guys.
Yeah, very. And again, another band I've never seen live because they just don't. They'll play in LA and then they tour South America frequently, but they don't tour
they do that. That's true. Yeah.
I've tried to talk them into coming, to Utah many times. I'm like, you guys can stay with me. I'll feed you, whatever. I just want to see you live.
Does California border with Utah anywhere?
No.
So it's California, Nevada, Utah, kind of.
Yeah. We're a little bit north, so
okay.
So we're
So are you neighbors with Oregon? I know where Utah does hit the Canadian border, doesn't it? At the very top.
No. Montana's we got Wyoming and Montana above us.
Okay, so we're next to Wyoming then. Okay.
Yeah, we're next to Colorado, and then we've got Nevada below us, Nevada and Arizona below us.
Okay.
So Idaho's above us as well. Kind of, Idaho and Wyoming are right above us. So
and we're going back to the True Thrash Fest again in 2018 with Blood Feast too. Like we had played with them in the 80s too, but I didn't remember playing with them. But I've seen posters like Sacrifice, Blood Feast. It's like, wow, so many shows I just can't remember anymore. But it was really good to reconnect with those guys too. And that's how I got Adam and CJ to play on the Codex Factoria.
Oh, cool.
I even tried to get Sean from At War, but I couldn't get a hold of him. And I tried to get Lance from Hyrax, but he didn't have the recording gear at his house to actually do something like that. So he said he couldn't do it. So so it ended up being CJ and Adam, Dave Carlo from Razor, Rob Urbanetti, and once again I forget the ex-Annihilators guy who played guitar. He was a great guitar player too. His solo's pretty smoking, but I just forget his name right now.
Nice. Very cool.
But yeah, it was really good to connect with all those bands because we're all from the 80s, and it was good to have us all together in Osaka and just bonding and getting along and hanging out. It was great.
Well, and the Japanese audience, I mean, they love thrash.
Oh, they are so dedicated to the bands they love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they love everybody at the band. I mean, people, just getting all their T-shirts, pictures, albums, CDs. Everyone there was like fucking stacks in their bags, getting all the bands to sign their stuff. It was really good. It's really fun going. I love going to Japan. We've already played Osaka twice. We've never been to Tokyo. Maybe in the future.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, that's cool. Well, Scott, this was great. This was really fun talking with you. I'm really excited to know that there's a Sacrifice album in the future coming out.
Yes.
So for everybody watching, please check out below in the description. There are links. Check out Sacrifice. Check out Bandcamp. Check out Codex as well. Yeah. Really cool stuff. You can download. I don't think there's a physical album anymore, but I think you can download the last album, which is excellent. A lot of cool riffs, a lot of fun stuff. So yeah, again, thank you so much. This was great.
Hey, no problem. One more thing, everybody. We're re-releasing a bunch of albums.
Oh, cool.
It's either going to be by the end of this year or early next year. Our first 3 albums for sure are getting re-released. And excellent. We might be re-releasing again. Well, Apocalypse Inside, we can't. Metal Blade owns it, so we can't do that as easily as we can with the other 4 albums. Nice. So I don't know if the ones I can demo re-release, because I think you can still find it around, but definitely the first 3 albums are getting re-released again.
Excellent.
In Canada and in Europe.
Very cool.
So those will be coming out again.
Will those be remastered as well? And
remastered, I'm not sure. Possibly.
Okay. Re-release.
Sure. I don't know those details yet. I just know that there was a bunch of labels that were interested in putting the stuff out again, so we said yes.
Very cool.
Yeah, because we just signed with a booking agency in England earlier this year, so we're looking to do some European stuff in 2022, 2023. So we're hoping to get over there for Europe, because I know we can play in North America. It's Europe we haven't done enough of yet.
Nice.
We will definitely be doing North America again. There's no doubt about that.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, thank you,
so
Scott.
Watch for shows coming to the U.S.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Very cool. Thank you, Scott.
No problem, Victor.